right, let's see what we got here. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the dimensions of my dimensions. We got a lot to talk about, but anyway, I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to pretty much become Christ-like, or Buddha-like, or Krishna-like. And what that simply means is to help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Like when you see like Siddhartha, who became Buddha, and Jesus the Nazareth, who became Jesus Christ. It's simply a representation of any of us who is on that journey and our transformation. That's what those stories are telling you, or getting you prepared, or conditioning you, to, so you know how to navigate through life, or even going through the transformations. That's pretty much that's pretty much what I do. Now, how do I do it? Well, first of all, like for you to have the highest level of clarity or consciousness, your emotions and your intellect has to become together. They have to be in alignment. And ironically, since we'll be talking about the yin and the yang, I mean, essentially, that's what this is. Because your emotions have a direct impact on your intellect. That's how you could be like, okay, when somebody falls in love, the minute they wake up, I mean, they wake out of that, flow, it's totally different. Now they start seeing things differently. All of a sudden, there's a lot more clarity, and we know it too. That's why you would tell someone else, you're being too emotional now, and you also understand that there's certain things that they're not seeing. But again, if you truly understand this for what it is, this is reflecting our essence. Because what you're truly seeing here is vision, how the vision is being clouded by he or her emotions. But again, this is also revealing to you too that for you to see things clearly, to have better understanding of what's around you, you have to become in alignment. So again, these are practical like matters. That's why I'm gonna jump a little bit ahead of myself here, but that's why when I talk about spirituality, like spirituality is your fucking life. If you understand your essence, because you are more than what you look like, then spirituality it's your story. Because I'm saying that to say, because there's been this misconception about what spirituality is. It's almost like we are so disconnected from it. It felt like it's something that is outside of you. It's them people over there. Like, no, it's all of us. If you understand your essence, even the way we see things, looking at reality from different plane, from different levels of reality or vision. There's a reason why we say common sense isn't that common. Because you have to see it for yourself. But that sight, that vision, is our creative reality. But again, going back to the whole, I guess, it's on tonight then. I think I'm swinging out here, man. All right, well, fuck it. Let it be. Mm. Let it ride. You know what I'm saying? So again, Attaining your highest level of consciousness to become the enlightened one or ones, the bright ones, the one with the halo and all that stuff. It's revealing, your level of consciousness and how it is manifested in your presence. That's why you could see certain people like shine a certain way. Their energy, bring forth certain things. These are practical matters. However, it does require for you to be a little more sensitive for you to see these things. If you're one-sided, meaning you've been conditioned to look at yourself from a limited perspective, which is just your physical part. You're looking at yourself sideways. And because of that now, the whole aspect of even, you know, people, even to talk about spirituality, it becomes like something that's out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this shit is your reality. Because what we're truly doing as true spiritualists is that we are delving more into who we are. We have developed our inner vision, so technically, we could see this world beyond the veil, and that would be the veil, the physical aspect of how this look like. That's what makes this a fucking illusion, as the Indian call it. And what an illusion means, it doesn't mean fake. What it does mean, though, is that what you're looking at, it's not what it appears to be. Just like when you go see a, I guess, magic trick, when they cut the person in half, right? Or they would, like, I don't know, like dig or cut that person in half, right? That person is not really cut in half. What you're seeing, there's more to what it looks like. And this is our reality. This is the reality. This is the world that you're living in. Nothing is what it seems. Even myself. Yes, you look at me, you understand my physical properties, but yet there is more to me than what I look like. You would have to know my character, like things like that. And even when you say this is your real friend, I mean, you're also implying, we've been through some shit, but most importantly, we have the ability to see each other. Or he understands you, whatever the fuck, meaning he doesn't look at you, doesn't judge you, and all that shit. So you're also saying there is more to you than what you look like. But anyway, going back to the whole, being in alignment with yourself, if you want to, for you to attain the highest level of consciousness, because your conscious, your emotions does have a direct impact on how you see things, and vice versa too. Your intellect also, if you're suppressing your emotions, then you become very rigid. There's certain, like, you don't have compassion for people. And what compassion means simply is that I'm not judging you. I see what you did, or what I understand. Like, it's to sympathize with others. That's what having compassion pretty much is pretty much all about. You know what I'm saying? Like when we say the people are perishing due to ignorance, that's a compassionate statement. Because not only we acknowledge that, but also it's like it's not their fault. Like I understand, I share that with. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying. It's like it's not putting you down, but it's like embodying you with your fucking mistake. Because what emotions also does to your intellect, it broaden it expands it a little bit. Because when you tend to be too logical, you step on people's feet without even you, because it's all being logic. You become like Judge Dredd. Watch that movie. He's the law. Right is right. That's what logic is. And then the whole reasoning aspect of it. But guess what? In life, your intuition may save you. And this is why too, man. I mean, a part of me, it's like it was so crazy how I started to pretty much going over a lot of stuff, and then you realize it's not necessarily all lies, but there's more to what they look like. And then you also get to realize, I know for me, it's like spirituality is the only way to go, man. Like when you know that truth, man, like there's no other way. There's nothing else. That's your survival kit. That's your essence. Your growth, your elevation, everything you do, it stems from there. So that's why for me, again, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but again, when I'll get to talk, I mean, and by the way, this is spirituality. But anyway, being Judge Dredd, you fail to see the things that are close to you, and having a little bit of emotions help you to understand certain things. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit of emotion that people understand or have sometimes when they make it out of the hood, and then you want to help somebody else. Because now you understand, or you just could have been like, hey man, you're gonna have to pull yourself out. I mean, eventually everybody's gonna have to pull themselves out. But the whole idea of not just to have compassion, but also to be emotionally intelligent is the way to go. And here's something else too, since I was talking about a masculine oriented culture, we don't value feminine traits. No wonder women are having a hard time, man. And their level of self-esteem too. I mean, it's like it's a lose for them. They already start in like it's like a false start. So my ladies, I love y'all. From hey man, I understand. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I will touch on that a little bit more as we'll delve more into the yin and the yin, because that is also referring to, like the masculinity and the femininity, the physical and the non-physical. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, or maybe I should, get to it. But anyway, so vice versa. Now, what do I mean by helping you to become now? So now that we understand, they both has to be in alignment. They have to be both 100%. I mean, your clarity, like your intellect's got to be sharp, as much as your emotions also has to be sharp. And This is the true. This is how you truly become logical by also using your emotions. Because there's more logic. It would add more logic to your logic when there's your emotions is actually involved. So actually, your intuition doesn't take away your intellect; it adds to it, and that's pretty much the whole essence of the yin and the yin. Without I guess shit. All right, I'm out. But that's the whole essence, and this is why too the yin and the yin has it's not a 50-50 symbol. It's not a half and half symbol. If you're looking at it from that perspective, you miss the whole point. But anyway, so now to be emotionally balanced, and we're gonna get to that. Don't worry, I got you. To be emotionally balanced, what that means pretty much, it has nothing to do with how people would tell you not to raise your voice or to not to use certain words or anger. It's none of that shit. Has nothing to do with you being emotionally balanced. In fact, most of these motherfuckers that are emotionally unbalanced because they're not using their emotions. They're not in touch with their own emotions. That's why they tell you if you feel like crying, well, motherfucker, cry. That's being in tune with your emotions. And then as you do so now, you get to recharge, you get to do whatever the fuck, you feel better, greater, and all of it. See, that's how you also got to. Ow. you know? Has nothing to do with none of that. But to be emotionally balanced, what that means is you being in tune with your emotions. You understanding your emotional patterns. You acknowledging your blockages, and then at this point having the ability to fix it as well. It's for you to be your own spiritual healer. And ultimately, that is the goal. So that's what being emotionally balanced is. Now, it's that same pretty much baseline understanding. The same thing applies for you to become mentally balanced. You need to understand how your minds work. How is your mind being conditioned? And what impact, let's just say, when you go to school, like there's a certain way that it should affect you. How do you understand that? Or do you even acknowledge that? Because if not, then you are being conditioned by them just when you're not in control of your intellect. But you may think that you do, but that's not the case. That's why we're talking about a highest level of consciousness. That's why it's also important for you to understand even your culture. Every culture condition you to think a certain way. For you to open up your perspective or your vision even more, that's why you embrace diversity. It makes you more, like that's the goal of the yin and the yin. Is to embody those different things and they all become one. And by the way, that's what perfection is too. That's why you need to be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. As our environment is perfect. Perfect perfection has nothing to do with being flawless. That's why you also say that, this world is not perfect. Of course, because you're looking at it from a flawless perspective. And this is where you're also living in your own mind. You might as well, it might be best for you to stop thinking, because those thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's looking at it from a one-sided perspective too. But again, I was saying it's a fictional shit, because your reality, none of your reality shows perfection. But what you do see is balance. It's harmony. It's good and bad. And something that is good could be bad, and something that is bad could be good. That's your reality, your actuality. There is none of us who automatically knew anything right then and there. If you're learning how to play the guitar, you got to start somewhere. No matter where you're going in life, you start somewhere. So meaning your reality, that's why, like, why do we fall? So you could get up. That's your reality. We get better by repetition, by doing shit over and over. Like, if you didn't keep getting up as a toddler, you wouldn't be walking now. See, when you think from that type of frequency, that's what it's called, to adopt a Godhead mentality. Now you flowing with the things, or how things are taking place around you. Now you became one with them by aligning your, you know, yourself with them. Your thinking, not a thought, but your vision. Now you start seeing things from God's perspective, from God's eyes. And that pretty much entails seeing things from the Kabbalion has a best way, I mean, I think says it best. To understand the mental nature of the universe. And me saying this has nothing to do with, let's just say, me trying to suppress the material world. Not at all. All I did was I looked beyond it, not suppressing it. I just look at it for truly what it is, which is a fucking illusion. That's how you'll be able to look at those dots when you look into this world. And ironically, and this is why your spirituality it's your business. Even if you look at the movie The Matrix, right? It's almost like Neo, when he came back to the Matrix, this nigga looked better than ever. He looks better than when he was prior leaving the Matrix. You know why? Because he's seeing things better. He's listening. I mean, his sensories have fully developed. He's been born twice. So when you use your true sight or your true logic, I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but for some reason, I don't know, man. Like, okay. Again, I mean, one of my main purpose too, man, is to simplify a lot of those deep concept. Because I have mastered them, I made them part of my life. And that's the goal. That is your goal. That's your business. And as a spiritual healer, that's what I do. That's what I help you with. By holding the mirror of wisdom so you can reflect and see and you know just to adjust your vision a little bit. And if you understand everything we talked about when we talked about vision earlier, in terms of how you see in your understanding, which is your created reality, you know, this is a practical matter. That's why we tell people, you want to change your life? Well, change your mentality. So when you truly see it from that perspective, it's almost like the physical is no longer physical at all. Without me having to suppress it, telling you how fucked up your flesh is, your dick is getting hard, oh my God, it's so demonic. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now you're looking at spirituality from that perspective. It's a limited perspective. There's a lot more knowledge. I mean, more logic. That your logic needs a lot more logic. But anyway, so that's pretty much what it comes down to. And in so many in so many words too, man. I just talked about the yin and the yang too. And that's what the symbol truly represents. I mean, means. It has nothing to do with 50-50 or half and half. But it truly represents perfection. Ma'at, balance, justice. And that's the justice that you should seek for. That's when you become just with yourself. You become fair to you. Be just to you, man. Be fair to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, how do you be fair to you if you're not even being you, man? Like, what are you even doing? You know, you're not being fair to you. You know, like, what would be a purpose of you not being you, man? And it's part of you. In other words, how useful would you ever be if you're not using you? That's why we're sharing our gifts. That's what makes us who we are. Come on, man. You better shit. I'll leave you alone. I'm not even gonna pull your legs, man. I'll just let you be. But at some point you're gonna have to make a decision, man. What are you gonna do, man? You're gonna have to do better, baby. So that's pretty much, in essence, what I do. Right now, if you're coming back, you already know. Come on, stop playing, baby. Like everything was for you. You know what I'm saying? From the minute I turn on the fucking camera, it's all for you. You know, I fuck with you, motherfuckers. Thank you. I love you. Whatever the fuck, whoever comes back, this is for you, baby. This is for you, and I hope it gives you the vision that is needed for you to flourish. For you to be your optimal self. Unab- Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a question. It's not even a question. It's not even a statement. I was about never mind. But anyway, my niggas, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you here. Always. Always. I do this for you. Don't get me started. Now, at this point, I don't even know if it's even important. But okay, let me just touch on it this way. So obviously, guys, as a spiritual healer, spirituality is the foundation of even the conversation that I'm having with you now. This is the logic that I use to communicate or to share, or to give you this peace of mind or vision that I'm giving you now. And what that is pretty much is just us, our essence, a deeper understanding of who we are. And that's where spirituality comes in. And that's what spirituality is, and that's what spirituality does, and this is why spirituality is you. Then now when you're dealing with what is called the occult knowledge, which is another side of spirituality, now you're dealing with those sacred texts. I like to call them manuals. Like the Jesus story is a manual for you. You know? The whole story, it's a manual for you. It's a guide. That's why anybody and everybody who's walking that path, your walk is gonna be similar to Jesus' path. That's why it doesn't matter if it's Yeshua, if it's white, if it's black, don't matter. What truly matters is that's why you can't look at Jesus or anybody, even Buddha or anybody, or even myself. You can't truly even look at any of us from a fucking historical perspective. Only because there was a lot more to us or to us. That's how, certain spirit are able to live on, although they're not here with us. But anyway, then now you're dealing with the occult, and the occult is also another part. I mean, it's more of the tangible aspect of. That's why it's called the occult. The tangible aspect of it, meaning it materializes. I mean, it helps you to become conscious of the unconscious. That's how it materializes it for you. Now, the whole occult part or the dark side, you'll hear a lot about dark side. What that is referring to is nothing evil, but it's what you don't see, what you don't understand. Like we all have a dark side. That's why it's important. Like in the occult, there's something called doing your shadow work, and what that entails, and it's that dark side. Is you working, with those intangible qualities in you that really defines your reality. That's why this is it's all mental. It's a spiritual work. Again, if we're going back, like how physical truly this word is. And this is what fucking quantum physics now is telling you by letting you know like everything is energy. Do you understand? So this is your regular life. Now you become spiritual when you acknowledge these things about you. Now you acknowledge a peace of mind, how vital that is for you to thrive. But not just that, just the way you feed your motherfucking body, you gotta feed your mind as well. I mean, how the fuck? I mean, is knowledge a bad thing? or does it help you to thrive? So you gotta feed that other side of God. Like you can't live for just dick and pussy, man. And again, this is not saying, you know what I'm saying, fuck dick and pussy neither. It's embracing all of you. That's all we're saying. And that's what the yin and the yin is also telling you. And because our values were not in perfect alignment with us, and guess what? Even it reflects in the society that we're living in. That's why, and this is what I meant, you know, like we're living in a masculine oriented fucking culture where it's all the masculine traits that are valuable. You want to be, everybody's want to, you know, what kind of business do you have? Like, you always got to be doing something. You got to be competitive, very analytical, all of that shit. Those are all fucking masculine traits. And that's why you know, I be telling my ladies, this environment is not for you. To prevail in a fucking situation like this is depriving you of who you are. Now I'm not telling you you cannot have your business. I'm not telling you you cannot do what a man does. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you need to understand those are masculine traits. You know what I'm saying? You do whatever the fuck you want to do with it, but when you have a better understanding of the society that you're living in, it helps you to adjust yourself. See, this is why too, unfortunately, we're living in a culture where, oh my god, because it's almost like because we're not in our essence, meaning, you know, even the so-called masculinity is not a healthy masculinity. That is the reason why they are treating the feminine like this. It's not a healthy, it's not a healthy masculine. And because of that, it's unbalanced. And because it is, and this is what's reflecting in our society. That's why you have this. It's men against women. That's what you have. It's not the yin and the yang. It's not even our reality. That's how you know when people are trying to tell you you're not in tune. That's what being in tune with the universe is. But you must understand the mental aspect or nature of the universe and yourself. This is why when we're talking about life, I mean, shit, you know, even in fucking biology, you know, these niggas are telling you, right? I mean, they study life, right? Hey, what type of life, motherfucker? What life? Do you see what I'm saying? And this is also why, too, I understand. That's why the Kabbalion, they call that type of science material science. That's why that shit is a fucking oh my god, it's crazy. That's why you have this fight between science and God and all that shit. It's just so like it's just so crazy. Whereas true science is God itself. You know what I'm saying? You know, because biology will tell you, they'll pretty much tell you about living organism versus non-living entity. But yet again, what truly make life life? Is it the property that you have? You know what I'm saying? That's why we understand that you can be alive, but not but I mean, you could be breathing but not alive. That's why we say there's a saying that we use in the occult or in when we talk about this is for the livings. The other people, like we look at them as being dead because that awakening hasn't taken place in them. So again, what is life? What life are they studying? So for them to say this is the science of they study in life, do you see what I'm saying? That's why spirituality is the only actuality. It's the only reality. Everything else is bullshit. It's giving you that fucking bullshit intellectual shit that's fucking you up. There's no logic in their logics. And now this is what we go to school to study. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's why a lot of us too, and you'll see a lot of the spiritual masters that would tell you the same thing. It's almost like as we're becoming more of ourselves, it isn't really something anything new that we're truly learning. It's removing all the bullshit that we were fed, man. And that's pretty much what that shit is. So that's why they will tell you, even attaining your highest level of consciousness, it entails that too. So it's a whole lot to it. But the very foundation of that, you got to be in alignment with you. That's why you got to go inward, dealing with your personal issues, dealing with your emotions, acknowledging them, not to put anything away. That is what toxicity is. You do not want to address your problem when there is clearly a lot you having problems. you know, you know what I'm saying? So again, you do see I'm trying to the web how it's all connected, right? And how do you do that if you don't embrace you? How do you do any of it if you don't embrace who you are? That's why to know your nature is also to know the universe. Because now, when you have the ability to go see beyond what you appear to look like or what you appear like, then now you get to see yourself as something more than just your look. And because now you have that ability, now you could see that the universe has a lot more to it than what it appears to be too. Then you see the lesson, you see the blessing, you see the perfection. And that entails the yin and the yin. You know, good and bad happens in life. And people that are good people, they also do bad shit too. So the harmony, you know what I'm saying, the masculinity and the femininity, that we gotta come together. That's why you can't be one-sided. The minute you become one-sided, your perspective is one-sided. You can't see the full picture. You know what I'm saying? That's like you'll be like a Democrat and a Republican. That's all they do. They gossip about each other, nothing else. Because they have a one-side perspective. You're gonna say to that other side that they're not seeing things clearly, and you're smarter, and you're making jokes, and vice versa. Isn't that what you're noticing in your fucking debate and shit like that? There's no harmony, and besides, and therefore, neither one of you is truly benefiting from the situation. Because for you to truly benefit, meaning to have a deeper understanding, There's some good shit about Republican. There's some good shit about fucking Democrats, right? Why not embrace both sides? That's the yin and the yin. And as you do so, that's completion. That's you now looking at things from different angles. There's a reason why I don't know if any of you, if you ever, because I remember I did take this, I can't recall what was the name. It was this logical shit class that I took. You know what I'm saying? It's like to have the ability, what I'm saying, to see things. I mean, you got to look at it from different angles. If not, you are one sided, and because you are one sided, like you guys are two idiots arguing, making fun of each other. You guys became the best at telling the difference between everything, and that's what we see also in our fucking society. And that's the same shit that people do also with gender. That's what the Kabbalion talks about. You know what I'm saying? The law of gender. You can't get rid of gender. Even in a lesbian or gay couple, they show you gender. You can't get rid of it. Do you see what I'm saying? Even in gay couples, like they both got the same fucking sexual organ. See, that's the yin and the yin. It's not 50-50. What this is referring to, that's why you gotta be in your full capacity. You gotta be in your full whatever the fuck. If you're a man, embrace your fucking masculinity. If you're a bitch, well, embrace your fucking femininity. That's it. Because only when you do so, then now we could become one. That's why weak masculinity and weak femininity, they, they, they don't go hand in hand. Or either one of them, and if it's one is solid, the other one is not. It's not. It's got to be the yin and the yin. They gotta flow. It's not nothing to do with 50-50. You gotta be your full 100% yourself. That's why for you as a man, and nigga, suck your own dick. And for my ladies, same exact thing. So you're living in a society that doesn't allow you to be you. That's why it sucks for you, and I get it. Shit, I got a daughter myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't do the things that the men are doing, but now this is the society that you're fighting to get into. So you're fighting a lose lose. Like it's not worth the fight. There's nothing to fight. That's why the feminine movement it's not even helping you. I'm more feminist than that movement because it's not preserving your essence. I mean, you could do whatever you choose to do, but maintain your fucking essence. Like as a man, there's some I do some feminine shit. But to begin with, having dreads, having hair as a man, that is a feminine trait. It got nothing to do with motherfucking being gay or none of that shit. And that's what the law of gender also is telling you about. Understanding how the masculinity work, how the femininity work, and how they must come together. That's why when you married, you guys become one. Do you understand how you become one? Do you know what it means for you to become one? When you look at the yin and the yin, That's completion. It means you complete each other. That's why for you as a man, you gotta be in your masculinity, and for a woman, she has to be in her femininity. So when you guys come together, if you look at the yin and the yang, right? There's a little bit. It's two different things. It's a black side and a white side, not 50-50. Two different shit, two different color. This is your physical and your non-physical. This is your masculinity and your femininity. It's different things that now you become one with them. That's the unification. So now going back to the symbol, right? So in the white side, you have a little bit of dark. That's what that means. Like when we talk about the law of gender, like in myself, in fact, in the occult, we have this saying. We say before you meet a woman, you should date the woman in your house first. What that is referring to, again, the esoteric meaning of things, it's not meant to be taken literally. That's why esoteric wisdom is said a certain way, and just like, you know what I'm saying, purposefully for you to think outside the box. Like if I were to tell you to suck your own dick, obviously, I mean, I'm still working on that part. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I started, you know what I'm saying, like doing the pancake and shit. You know, I'm gonna get there, baby. But anyway, obviously, physically, you know what I'm saying, there's that. So it's being said that way purposefully for you to go beyond, oh my God, guess what? No, it's not a physical dick. Embrace yourself. You see, this is where, for us in the occult, the power of words, we understand it differently. It's not about the meaning of a word that makes it powerful. It's how you say what you say and how the word now is reflecting. Like when you listen to that, who would ever thought there's wisdom in sucking your own dick, right? Nigga, I'm giving you the wisdom of sucking your own dick. Well, motherfucker, that's what the occult does. I'm giving you the structure. I'm giving you the tools, man. Don't worry about it. You're welcome. As a man, we all have that. That's why men, we have feelings too. We hurt too, man. But yet, we are more logical. So we have those feminine traits in us, but yet, you know, that's why for us now, you need to embrace your masculinity. And for my ladies, same thing. Because only when you do now, this is how we become one. And this is the true marriage, not just through sex, but also our soul become one. Because now, since I have embraced my masculinity, like I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like as a man, I do know how to cook. Those are feminine traits. However, when you come together with your feminine, I mean, okay, let me just say this, right? And then I'm gonna expand more on it. Now, if I were to come together with my fucking whoever the fuck, right? When she cooked for me, then I would be experiencing my femininity through her, and vice versa. That's why women who are in their femininity, they understand, nah, let him be a man. The idea is not let him be a man, like, nah, you are experiencing your masculinity now through him. That's why, can you do the same thing that a nigga do? Yes. May not be like to 100%. You know, can you fight? Yes, but fighting a man is a little bit different. Now, can you do the things that we do? Yes. How efficient is different, but the bottom line is that we have both sides in us. So now, for us to become together, the yin and the yin, right? So me as a man, have to live my femininity through you. Now you gotta live your masculinity. There's certain things, yes, you could do. That's why you learn not to talk to your men that way, not to do certain things that way, because now you're experiencing your masculinity through him. That's why you never tell a man what the fuck to do, bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you in your now, that doesn't mean to shut the fuck up if there's something wrong, not to say anything. Nah, there's a way to do it. You offer your suggestions. But anyway, all I'm saying here, like, you can't get rid of gender. And because we have not embraced fully our either masculinity or femininity, because even the masculinity that we have here is weak. You know what I'm saying? Because true masculinity too, man. I know a lot of you guys like to say how masculine you are, but you also, that's why, you know what I'm saying, like, we find our how can I say this? That's why the feminine energy to us, it's like, that's why no matter, regardless of how strong you are, you don't want a bitch to be as strong as you. Not because you want a bitch to be weak, but it's like, damn, baby, like, shit, like, I don't need no nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I don't need no nigga. I don't. And you know, and it's not even sexy too. It's like, can you imagine? Like, to me, like, when I see a woman who's not in her femininity, I look at you as a tomboy. I mean, you shit. You know what I mean? We all get down, but never to smash them. And this is also what the law of gender also show you too. I mean, there got to be a masculine and a feminine for the connection to actually, even to maintain a sexual fucking connection. That's why the women, and y'all women understand that shit too. You put your lip gloss, regardless of how intellectual you may be. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm like, I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? I love my all my independent ladies. I love y'all. But the true independent one though, and that would be a woman who's in her femininity. That's a balanced woman, and her self-esteem is way up there too. Because now, you know, he's not doing things to be accepted. A lot of you ladies, you trying to be accepted. You want to be niggas, and now you want to be better niggas. And nigga, there's no evolution. Like, you, there's. I'm sorry to say, you think there's been some evolution? No. It's more of a regression, to be honest. Well, at least, well, I mean, some things do change, you know. But again, it means nothing, because, like, just like any change, it has to be radical. The change it's got to be from the root, man. I mean, you can't heal just by putting bandage on. Nah, you got to get to the roots of shit. That's why, even for us to become together too, that's why, if you're not true to you, you're always gonna be false to somebody else. And this is facts. Those are practical matter. The motherfucker who are being false to other people are the niggas who are not being true to who they are. They truly cannot stand who they are. Oh no, listen, this is yo, I never thought like, yeah, this is yeah. You never see a guy like who's got a lie like for no reason. That's somebody who can't stand the look of them, man. You mean like there's nothing good about you at all? And even when the motherfucker trying to use the truth, that's a lie. You're just a lying ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like again, you're not taking accountability. I mean, you don't fully embrace you. You're being false to you. So again, and this is what I also came to understand too. True spirituality, it's not about, like us. I'm not coming up with nothing new here. I'm just helping you to see beyond the reality that you're already living in. When the guy that wrote the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, or fucking um, Think and Grow Rich, what they're truly trying to show you here is the mentalities. This is not something new. They're helping you to see reality from a deeper perspective, the reality that you're already in. And they're telling you this is what's happening. This is how these people think. Like the Robert Kiyosaki, who used Rich Dad Poor Dad, great, great. That's why there's no wonder like this motherfucker, he knows about the occult. That's why us spiritual healers, we are the greatest alchemists. We understand the science of the mind. We are the true spiritualist, the true mentalist, because we see beyond the veil. You know what I'm saying? Just like when I was talking about biology, material science, there's a whole other science. What the fuck is life? So how do you even talk about life without even looking at, what I'm saying, the quality, the sensory quality of life? If you're gonna tell me, let's just say there are non-living entities, what about color? Is color alive or is it dead? What's your definition of life, my nigga? Do you see what I'm saying? There's more to it than what it appears like. So if your focus is just that physical part, you fucked. You got a one-sided perspective. You got a one-sided mind. You're looking at it sideways. You may sound good, but that's it. There's no substance really in what you're saying. Because the substance truly comes in life. It's more than just the living entities and the non-living ones. And it's not just the property of livings that makes shit living. Tell me, like a statue, is a statue dead or is it fucking alive? Well, if a statue's dead, why would some people freak out when you see a fucking statue? Why would you, when you go somewhere, right? The light, the color, there's life in certain things. So you can't, I'm saying that to say, you can't look at this life without, from a one-sided perspective. Because there's other properties. You know what I'm saying? Why do you choose only one side of it? This is all mental. All mental. That's why I recommend the Kabbalion to you motherfuckers. Because one of the great, don't be stuck in just the seven hermetic principles. That's what I see a lot of people do. No, understand the principles. The key, the point of for you to understand the principles, the seven hermetic principles, is for you to master yourself, to understand how the universe works, so you understand how you work. That's why this is a self-mastery book. Come on now. Do you see what I'm saying? Now going back, this is why is that the society that you guys are representing out there? Is that the society you'd like me to be part of? Is that the society that people want to keep up with the Joneses for? Shit's crazy. This shit is crazy. Wow. Nigga, I'ma smoke my shit, I'ma drink my shit, and I'ma talk my shit. That's the society I need to behave to be part of? That I should not be having my hair and, you know what I'm saying, and behave a certain way? For this society? Come on, man. Even that alone is all. Come on, man. You're not being fair to you. You know what I'm saying? You unjust motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You're not embracing yourself. Your divine qualities. So again, going back to the whole gender shit, you know, because nobody embraced their fucking gender. Then now, no wonder why, where we're going now, where we're heading pretty much, it's a fucking alien fucking community, like with no, I guess, androgyny fucking community, right? Like now, what? Can I even say that I have a dick? Do you see where the shit is going? And that's what Dave Chappelle pretty much was saying by, you know what I'm saying, this is a bitch ass society, or however the fuck he said what the fuck he said. You know, I'm giving you the background of it, the underline, the baseline of it. The fear. I'm showing you the shadow work, like what's taking place, like in the collective consciousness. Would you like to be going by he, by she, and then you think there's some ethical shit going on here, and there's nothing. I don't even see nothing ethic in it, but a lack of self-esteem. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying, if you're a man, you claim your masculinity, that's a problem. If you're a woman, you claim your femininity, you already know that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And for my ladies, even if if you try to be feminine and shit, and this is what we see. You know, living in a fucking masculine oriented culture, you know, those are the things we value, masculine traits. And this is why too, man, automatically a lot of female women, you know, start with a low self-esteem. Because now, you know what I'm saying, you want to be as competitive, you want to be acknowledged, you want to be, you know what I'm saying, and not knowing that no one is going to validate you but you. Only when you validate your values, then other people will value you. Otherwise, how good are you? A man buys a house. A woman, you turn it into a home. If you don't value that, how good are you? No wonder. You know, no wonder. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we become one. And even in gay couple, again, showing you the love gender. That's why, you gotta learn a couple things, man. You gotta learn how to be sexy. Put on some fucking lipstick, bitch. That's how a nigga would look at you. And not to mention, you are beauty too. You shine. Do you see what I'm saying? And I had to learn that the hard way too. Like oh man, that's why my daughter, like I'm grateful for her too. Oh, she worked me out. You know what I'm saying? She helped me to do my shadow self, dealing with my insecurities as a man. I'm gonna be quick because I know I talked about this before, right? So she was probably like I can't recall, man, 3 or maybe 4, and then of course, you know, when you're trying to bathe that little girl. I mean, when you're trying to give her a bath, that shit is it's an hour, right? That's I mean minimum. So I'm like, okay, I know the game now. We do our little, what I'm saying, boat thing. Okay, I'm gonna let you play. Boom, boom, boom. Are you ready now? Not yet. Okay. Came back, 20 minutes later. You ready now? Ah, no. Okay. Time is up. But anyway, so all right, boom, 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 doing that, and on top of it too. Now, just to get her dressed, that's probably another 30 minutes. Then we got to fight, putting the lotion on. She's anyway, cute things too. Anyway, this is where I'm going with that, right? So, and then there was like 2 shorts, right? But one was shorter than the other, but I didn't know that, right? So anyway, I'm like, okay, you know what, Daddy, stop playing now. Hey, hey, dress up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're done. Okay, Dad, yeah, yeah. All right. So now, as I was actually in the kitchen, and she's now walking out of the room, and now she's coming over. I'm like, what the fuck? Did I give this to you? She was like, yeah, Dad, it was one of the shorts, and I picked that one. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and got the other one, seeing how longer it was, and I'm like, well, do you wanna, you wanna wear that instead? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, you sure you're good? Like, it's not too short? Like, nah, I'm good. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, motherfuckers, man. I'm like, yo. Is my daughter a hoe, bro? Like, what the fuck? And then that's when I realized, I'm like, damn, y'all, come on, dog. She's 3, bro. 3, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I also realized too, because that was an eye opener for me. That's when I realized, oh no, like they're all beauty. What she did, that's why they love to get their nails done and all that shit. That's what they do. But in our society now, when they look that way, when they appear that way, what do you think niggas do? Yeah, she's looking for some dick. Now, granted, I'm not. I mean, some of them are. Don't. Hey, I'm not trying to fool you here. What I'm trying to tell you too, man, it's part of their essence too. It ain't necessarily just, you know what I'm saying, because they just want to get dick. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's part of who they are. Like they gotta be sexy. Like they gotta bring it out, and that's what the femininity is, and that's what attract us to them too. And that's the relationship between, you know what I'm saying, the femininity and the masculinity. You know, if you want to attract your man, well, shit, you're going to have to do a couple things, man. Either, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to change things around the house. You know, and that's what people are trying to tell you sometimes when they tell you, you know, in your marriage, this is what you do. Try to make it like, you know what I'm saying, try to do different things. You do like role play and all that shit. The underlying understanding is, like I said, you have to embrace you. See, when you embrace your femininity, all that shit will make sense. And not to say that you can't do nothing or you can't do what men do. It's not even what the question is. When you become one now, you live in your masculinity. That's why you say, I have a husband. If something happens, who's gonna check the door? Him. Now, if he wasn't around, who was gonna have to do that? Now, we're not calling you a punk. I'm trying to tell you that's how, when we say you become one, that's what it means. So the yin and the yin, that's what that perfection is, that completion. A man complete you just like you complete a man. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be two different pieces that would have to come together. You know what I'm saying? Like you should when you are in your femininity too. Like even the idea. Do you know how insulting it is? Like you may not see it that way, obviously, because you're being conditioned by it. But if you wake up to your femininity, to have a bald-headed motherfucker telling you, you know what I'm saying, how to act like a lady but think like a man, it's not gonna happen. First of all, your nature, what you see is what you do. You're not gonna think on that level and not to be that. That's why an actor, you know, like they gotta think like the whoever the fuck, like what is he thinking about? When you adopt that, you're gonna be that. So there's no way you're gonna think like a man and act like a fucking lady. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's like that's like you know thinking like a poor man, and then how you gonna act? How you even gonna be rich? Isn't that the reason why you are adopting a fucking rich mentality? That's what the book motherfucking Rich Dad Poor Dad was trying to get you to see, to think from a rich dad perspective. Then you're gonna create that reality. So you're gonna think like a man, and then you're gonna act like a lady. In what world? Oh shit! Where? In Mars, like somewhere else? I don't know, man. If there's a different reality, let me know. Again, fictional shit, man. You guys are living in your mind. You're not even in tune with what the fuck is around you. Because for you to be in tune with what it takes for you to know who you are. It takes for you to look and see things beyond the veil. So the yin and the yin, like, you know, even when we talk about even understanding this world too, you must embrace what you see and what you don't see. And as you do so, now it allows you to see what you don't see. I know it may sound very paradoxical, but this is the mystery. This is the beginning and the end. This is who we are. This is me being a son and a dad at the same time, and a cousin and everything else. Know who you are, man. Know who you are. And that's what it comes down to. And this is, you know, the knowledge that you need to know about your essence. This is what knowing yourself is. This is how you're setting yourself free from material bondage. Now, for me, my life, like death, where's your victory? I'm looking at life as portals. Like what you're calling these things is how you come in. You come in one way, you get out the other way. And that is birth, that is death. Those are exits and entrances. Then the more of that you come to understand, that's why you're living in this realm. That's what makes it the physical realm. But at the same time, you're not enslaved to it. But you need to adjust your vision, though. You need to have the right vision. And that's what this is all about. That's why it comes down to either seeing the truth, things as they are, truly are, or you fall for the fucking illusion. That's why now the Buddhists will tell you, you know, everything is one. Right? And I definitely get it. Because now when you understand nature, when the whole aspect of metaphysics is to tell you that the same thing that takes place in nature also takes place in your life. For instance, if you plant mango, you will not get fucking avocado. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas that are looking good, they are hitting the gym. They're dieting. There's a certain way that they fucking eat. Like there's no like you what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You do nothing, you get nothing. There's no lottery. That's what makes it a practical matter. How you see things, or your lack of vision, or whatever the fuck, will determine your reality. That goes for all of us. That's why your business, if you truly understand that about your essence, should be for you to have the greatest state of mind. That's why we created God. Our ancestors understand the meaning of God in your life. Oh, God is everything. It sure is. Because through God now you get to elevate or to be in touch with those divine qualities in you. When they talk about the fruit of the Spirit, these are things that resides in you as you are being born twice. You start to acknowledge, you know, the non-physical part of you. Joy, peace, tranquility, or compassion, all that other bullshit. Wisdom. You value knowledge. You value the truth. Your being, life. Then now you see the connection with you and fucking nature. And not to mention, you know, the other world. I mean, there's many other worlds. But first, there's no need for us to go there. Then what you call spirit or other whatever the fuck, these are them niggas. Or your ancestors, all of these things are around you in different planes, then when now that's why you're not in a prison when you know who you are. Then now you have the ability when we talk about traveling or to tap into anything, to develop your psychic abilities. Those are all your natural senses. But it does require for you to become a little sensitive, though. Meaning, doing the work, you just got to be light. You got to be light on your feet. Another way of saying that your heart would need to be as light as a feather, if you understand what that is. Being emotionally balanced, mentally balanced. That's what that shit is talking about. The yin and the yin, ma'a. Also, the world that we're living in. That's why you gotta be true to you. And as a man, embrace your masculinity. As a female, please embrace your femininity. Besides, shit, I could tell you, I need it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, every woman fucking need that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying, a lot of men would be called dog, whatever the fuck. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is that femininity that drives us. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like, you could be with your girl and then you see another girl, that's why you look. You know what I'm saying? This is not to disrespect. This is not. See, that's why for me, man, I gotta deal with the bitch who's up here. You gotta know who you are. Yeah, I look. Shit. I mean, it was obvious. And then that's why women is beauty too. She was shining. Like, how do I deny this? You know what I'm saying? And even if you're blind, you still gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine? And then a bitch gonna be mad because you being you. See you later. No, man. That's why I tell you guys, man. Do be your fucking self. And it has nothing to do with disrespecting them. If anything, you're doing it for the right one. And if she's not the one, fuck her. The right one, you're doing it for her. And she will appreciate it. And here's the thing too, man. And that's why I like a woman too would always want you to be a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why I was watching this thing the other night, and they were saying I can't recall. I think it was a news thing, but anyway, it was this lady who was saying that she doesn't date down, right? And then they were saying that women don't date down. They were saying women, but they didn't understand. I feel like there was a lot more that was not being said, right? Because a man would have, let's just say, $20,000 would date a woman who only have $2. Shit, shit, you could be broke, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But a woman is not gonna do that. I mean, some do, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? They looking to date. You know what I'm saying? Up, as they say. Which I get it. And this is why, let me say this to you, my ladies. That's why this world is not for you. That's why you're not being your best in this world. Because now you're becoming competitive. You're competing with another man. Do you see what I'm saying? And then now, like, you're dating is not even dating anymore. But you're also doing that because, and here's something else too. You probably have a false sense of security too, because now it's being translated into dollars. You see how fucked you are? Like it's like illusion on top of fucking illusion, illusion. Like you lost. Like lost. You gone, bitch. You gone. Do you see what I'm saying? Because truly the truth is, because you're looking for that protection, you always feel like, you also revealing your own nature. What you're saying is, you're also saying that a man should be stronger than you. So when you need a man with more money than you, do you understand? Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you are, and that's why this is your low self esteem. Because if you're competing with somebody, how are you also showing them that you're weaker than them? Because okay, if we're talking about, let's just say, if we're going neck to neck, if we're going neck to neck, why would you want me to have more money than you? You know what I'm saying? So you're not even fighting niggas. You want to be better niggas. Oh my God. Is that your evolution? I'm just asking. Is that Harris? is is that Oprah? Fuck out of here, man. Y'all ain't doing shit. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles. You ain't doing shit. You just climbing up a ladder that we provided you and can easily take it under you. Or pull it from you. Whatever the fuck. You got the point. And in no shape and form too, because there's always gonna be a stupid motherfucker who do not understand what I just said here. This is not me saying that I'm more powerful than you. This is me letting you know you're not using your power for yourself. And how powerful are you if you're not using you? That's where the low self-esteem comes in, and I get it too, and that's what makes it hard for women, man. In fucking America, this shit is crazy, b. The psychological effect on women, that shit is crazy. That's why even having a female president means nothing, man. Just like you had a black president, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, I get it. Maybe in terms of hope. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna hope. It's not gonna be nothing. You see what I'm saying? Especially niggas, because you already don't love you anyway. And true diversity, it's not you negating your culture, guys. That's not the way it works. That's why, just like when I was talking about the masculinity and the femininity, for them to come together, they can't they can't suppress who they are. It's not a 50-50 shit like I give you half. No, It's us working together. It takes us to work together. That's how we become one. But anyway, going back to the whole aspect of being perfect, that's what you see around you in the universe. Now, it doesn't mean people are not killing people. It doesn't mean there's no envious. No, 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 no. What it's saying is, as you have that, well, you also have a nigga like me that comes in to help you to change your life. As this is taking place, this is the ma'at. That's why no matter where you go on this fucking planet, there's gonna be good, there's gonna be bad. And good people do bad shit just like bad people do some good shit. That's why, and in so many words too, this is all spirituality. All about knowing your essence. And as the Kabbalion, and I'm on niggas, this is your Bible. Your Bible is the Kabbalion. Because it's what? It's teaching you about self mastery. And the way you operate, anything you see, you can do. Your vision creates your reality. Your understanding creates your reality. So do you need God? Hell motherfucking yeah. Even if it didn't exist, you create God. And how do you know we haven't? We have created God. What do you think the Horus, the Osiris, the fucking Set, the Ra, and all that shit is? We understand that. And you'll see the people with the deepest fucking spiritual or mental clarity. That's why we have statues around us too. Because these things become our reality. It's no longer dormant. We understand that you are, I mean, even if you don't want to say that you are God. But can we agree? Without you, there's no God. Without your acknowledgement of God. That's why you'll see, even in the Moses story, when they telling you the Egyptians didn't believe in God, does that mean God was not around? No, they didn't acknowledge that. That's why, like I always tell people, no matter how objective you're trying to be, you're still gonna be subjective. Why? Because it comes from you. And who are you? I'm not. I'm not you. I'm unique. I'm just like you are. Everybody's. It's just. That's why our DNA. It's just unique in its own way. So although you may think you being objective, but because it's coming from you, which is unique, which is subjective, it makes it subjective too. And objective at the same time. But more, again, the yin and the yin. That's why opposites come together. Do it for yourself. Check out the Kabbalion. Because it's teaching you this is lifeless. This is life. Good friends become strangers. Or frenemies. Or enemies. Opposite comes together. What are we doing? Do you get the point here? But anyway, the idea of the yin and the yang, and again, even me using, and I didn't, I touch a little bit on the fucking political aspect of shit. How about Democrat, Republican? Same shit. So when you understand that, this is where the separation is. This is where the lack of harmony exists. That's what in the occult we call it, you eating from the tree of good and evil, not polarity. Now your duality, you become, and that's what you see. Even when I was talking about the whole masculinity, females and women, as you have guys who became expert at separating shit. And that's all you'll be able to do any fucking way, because you're looking at it only from a physical perspective. Whereas the physicality of what you're looking at, there is more to it. That's why you have spiritual laws. Like spiritual laws are keys to open up a certain doors. For instance, if you want love, now the code to that would be love yourself. And that entails you following your passion and all of that shit. Because you do what you love, you find the one who love you and the one who you love too. Well, that's how it goes, man. Free game, baby. It's on the house. Don't worry about it. It's okay, man. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you share it with somebody who needs it. Each one teach one, man. That's what we do here. You hear me, family? So if you hear anything that does that for you, give the sight to somebody else. Or you let them know what you see here. Spread the word, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and just fucking conquer the world. But again, now going back to, again, spirituality is your life, man. All we're doing here is we're digging deeper into what we look at, into what into what things appear like to us. Do you see what I'm saying? Just like, you want to make money too, or serve other people. Help people, serve people, provide services to others. But for you to provide services, again, you got to have something. Is it worth sharing? So the idea of being humble or not embracing yourself, who the fuck came up with this shit? Oh, I got it, of course. Of course, now I got it. You know what I'm saying? You can be humble and talk your shit at the same time. That's my art. That's balance. Shit, I talk my shit humbly. I humbly talk my shit. or I may choose to be quiet too. It's all part of it. Like, I know what to answer and what not to answer to. Do you see what I'm saying? And when I do, it's not because I'm being triggered. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta let niggas know. I'm smoking my shit, nigga shit. I sleep good at night. Trust and believe. Ask about me. Lately, all I've been doing is partying. Do I need to say more? I'll go, shit, you crazy. But anyway. and the yin is perfection. You also become perfect, meaning you thrive through what? Taking care of your brushing your ass. I mean, brushing your teeth, washing your ass, but also read books, do things. You know, that's what taking care of you is. Those are the two different aspects of you that has to come together. That's the yin and the yang. Also, when we talk about the femininity and the masculinity, just like we were talking about, to truly be independent, you gotta learn how to be dependent. That's why you'll see even some of the ladies who trying to act independent, not knowing that they have to be also dependent. They always appear funny. You can see there's no balance. And that balance, that's when you truly become independent. When you learn how to be dependent. So this is not about arrogance, you know what I'm saying? I buy my own car. Nah, that's pain. That's painful. When I hear that kind of shit, it's painful. Like, okay, I mean, shit, okay, talk your shit, but it's painful though. When it's not, get your money, and then what else? You get right back to who the fuck you are. You get right back to who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying? It's to learn. I mean, we all have different. We do different things without you having to sacrifice yourself. And that's what sinning against the Holy Spirit is when you sacrifice yourself. The ultimate sacrifice is not, it should be for the betterment of you, not to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? You're not setting yourself up in a sense. Now you're elevating yourself. This is the thrive. That's how you understand. Now, that's how you know you are the way. That's why you are the way. Nobody else is the way but you. I am my own way. I am the way. Even when you don't even listen to yourself, when you do the self-destructing shit, guess who's the way? So even when you are in your own way, you're still the way. So again, these are fucking practical life shit. Now, ignorance, a lack of inner vision, that's what you're getting from what is so-called religion. That is why you don't know who you are, you don't embrace who you are. Your interpretation of God is all fucked up. You're not looking at it. It's not a transformative shit. You're not living it. You're not even experiencing it. You just talk about it. And that's what I see. People talk of God. It's the social thing you do. I mean, of course, you got a little bit of maybe testimonies or maybe a little bit of experiences, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not, it doesn't transform you. You need that transformation. That's that consciousness that we're talking about here. That's that ability to see beyond the veil. You know, that's me now as we were talking about biology, and then we're talking about, okay, so what the fuck is consciousness? What the fuck is life then? Then when you're looking at the nature of consciousness too, it's just crazy. It's you embodying everything. That's why the minute you suppress anything, you know what I'm saying, it's you go through everything to transcend it. And the Indian too, man, they have this terminology that they use because they call this type of wisdom a trend transcendental knowledge, what that is referring to is the type of understanding that frees you up. See, they all say it in their own ways, and I embrace all of it, and I fucking love it too. But what again? It's the knowledge that sets you free. Same thing. Set you free like you go through different zones, different lanes, because now you know who you are. You make looks like a jail, but you know the door is open. Or you got the key. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, the yin and the yin, man. I wanted because I talk about I wanted to touch up on that because I feel like a lot of people don't truly understand it. They think it's being half and half, or half of this and then half of that. No, it's completion. You're looking at two different things, black and white, two different colors that come together. That is also symbolizes the masculinity, which is different from the femininity. If we were living in a feminine oriented culture, I'll give you a perfect example, then people would value relationship more. People would value, let's just say, what I'm saying, a home more. That's why when they talk about the feminine energy in the universe, that's what that means. It's that consciousness. It's acknowledging that God, that inner quality, is quality. It adds to life. It adds a whole different, like, that's why, some people, there's different schools that say different things, but I personally, I embody all of it. I understand everything that, what the fuck, about what they're saying. But I'm also saying that too. Now that's why even when you learn about the law of gender, they will tell you the same thing, and I came to understand it too. Is that this have nothing to do with dick and pussy. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like in my case, I am what is called a divine feminine. I'm in touch with it. I know it. Shit, in ways you don't even know. You see what I'm saying? But there's no DD over here. There's no fucking with man. There's none of that shit. It has nothing to do with dick and pussy. But what this is saying is as a man who embrace those feminine traits in me, like my intuition is, what I'm saying? It's I know how to tap into it. As a man, I have hair. I value values. Those are feminine shit. Like a man who's about honor. That's a man too. Like who's in tune with his own emotion, his femininity. So don't think femininity is weak at all. No, you got it fucked up. I see a lot of guys, because we're living in a logical way, you don't understand what emotional intelligence is. Whenever you think logic is over emotion, you you're looking at it sideways. You're looking at it from a one-sided perspective. So therefore you don't have the full picture. Trust me. Through your emotions, that's how you evolve. That's how you change. That's how you take accountability. That's the roots. That's the root you need to go to. As true changes, that's where it takes place. That's why you can never get rid of your emotions. But you need to have discernment, yes. The same thing you do with your fucking desires. You don't suppress it. You know what I'm saying? You discern it. You use, you use a better one. Or one that you know that's going to give you the outcome that you would prefer. giving that you have to sight. If you don't, well, that's a little bit different. Well, that's when you'll be in your own way. But yet, you're still the way too, though. So again, guys, this is our beauty. This is our mystery. Like in voodoo, we call this mystère. You are a mystère. You are the mystery. Anyway, anyway. I was gonna say this, but I'm not gonna say it. So, but anyway, guys, the yin and the yang is perfection, and that can only be done, or even in our society. The bottom line of what I'm saying is, embrace who you are. And we talked about it in a relationship perspective, from also political perspective, even in life. Do you see what I'm saying? When you start looking at things this way, then you understand the femininity and the masculinity is needed. They complete each other. What is the fuck is this war, man? Like, for what? You know what I'm saying? It's the battle of the sexes. But all of that is taking place because we have not embraced our sexes. So when whenever, because we don't embrace our gender, so you're moving towards more of a fucking alien body. With the big head with no dick, or if you got dick and pussy. I don't know which one, whichever the fuck is it. But the bottom line is this, though. You know, that's not the way it works, guys. That's the illusion. That's why you have to embrace you. That's why you are the truth. That's another jewels. That's another key. That's what the spiritual laws is all about. To guide us in this darkness, because through the separations, it unifies you. The yin and the yang. Be perfect as your Father in heaven is. I shan't. We're gonna leave it here, baby. Nothing but love.